Very good evening. Many thanks for joining us here. This is the News 9 Global Summit, the Wave edition. And just like the Prime Minister put it right in the morning, this is more than just an acronym. Wave, Audio, Visual and Entertainment Summit. It quite literally is the new wave of pure hashtag creativity. We're talking about cutting away from our ancient mythological roots now to 2025 with artificial intelligence, from our local roots to the global stage. So over the course of the next couple of hours, we've got 3 power pack sessions lined up for you. The world of media and entertainment, quite literally, the entire universe is going to come alive, albeit this is going to happen in News 9 style. Even as the logistical support continues to go on, let me tell you the 3 sessions that we have for you. 3 riveting discussions. We've got storytelling in the age of AI with a cinematic philosopher. We've got a powerhouse of legendary women telling us how they've gone against all odds, battled it all, scripted their own new narratives, and finally we'll hear it from the icon star himself, what it actually means to take talent beyond borders. All right then, very quickly let me introduce to you the main man of the evening, your show host, because at the helm of News 9 Global Summit's vision is of course somebody who is at this point in time fearless, sharp.
How can you start? Just stop it.
Sir, we just need the one. But
Check. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I request you all to kindly take your seats. The News9 Global Summit Waves Edition is about to kick off in just a few minutes from now. I'll request everybody to kindly take their seats. And ladies and gentlemen, let me also tell you what awaits you this evening. We will shortly be starting with our very first session. And legendary director, Mr. Shekhar Kapoor. Post that, we also have three fantastic women joining us right here on the News9 Global Summit Waves Edition. There you have them on the screen. Roland Shimon, Bianca Balti, and Ariane Hingst. And that's not all. Something that you all would be eagerly awaiting is our final session this evening, and that happens to be the superstar, the mega star, the icon star, none other than Mr. Allu Arjun. So that's what we have in store for you. I request you all to kindly take your seats. We will be beginning our sessions very, very shortly. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for News9's Kabir Naqvi.
Well, very good evening. That was a quick dress rehearsal that we just did in case you didn't notice. This is the News9 Global Summit, the Waves Edition, World Audio, Visual and Entertainment Summit. We all heard the Prime Minister speak in the morning. This is more than just an acronym. This really is, if I may put it, one of India's boldest and the biggest leap on the global stage of storytelling, of creativity, of technology, and needless to say, transformation as well. So over the course of the next 3 hours, like I was mentioning earlier, we're talking about ancient mythology cut to 2025 with the advent of artificial intelligence. We're talking about our own local rules, taking them across the world on the global stage. So over the course of the next couple of hours, we've got 3 riveting discussions that, like I mentioned, storytelling in the age of AI with the cinematic philosopher on the panel with us. A powerhouse panelist of legendary women will tell you how they battled all odds, scripted a new narrative for themselves, and then the icon star tells you why it's important that talent goes beyond the borders as well. So buckle up. Let me quickly introduce to you the main man of the evening, your show host for this particular summit, because at the helm of this News9 Global Summit is a vision of a man who's literally redefined what Indian media today aspires to do. We're talking about flair, we're talking about sharpness, we're talking about a person with a winning mindset and somebody who's always 10 steps ahead. He's the reason why TV9 Network is what it stands for today. You know what? I'll just let the big screen here do the talking for itself.
How do you define who you are? What is my philosophy? How do I take that as a learning? This is like an exploratory question. Our identity in life that we carry is primarily with the work that we do. But it's a long journey ahead. I'm a student of brands. I run the largest news network of the largest democracy in the world. My responsibility is maximum to my people around me. and I like to look at English, which I call objectified subjectivity. I have been hosting this show for quite some time, spoken to many legends, executives, international level footballers, and sports is very close to all. If the war starts getting remembered, I do not Mr. Thackeray. I'm 100% meat.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the MD and CEO of the TV9 network, Mr. Barun. Barun, please. And well, let's also tell the audience that joining Mr. Barun on stage is again somebody who's a cinematic philosopher. He's directed legends, he's redefined genres, and now he's taking artificial intelligence head on. That's right, we're talking about somebody who's directed Masoom, The Bandit Queen, Mr. India, Elizabeth, and of course the list goes on, and now a pioneer of storytelling in the age of AI. Have a quick look. How original is originality? How real is reality? Where should the line be drawn? Where does the line blur? When storytelling meets AI, will it make magic or will mediocrity rule? Storytelling in the age of AI, demystifying with Shekhar Kapoor, in conversation, Barun. Well, the soul of Indian cinema to the heart of Hollywood, please put your hands together for Shekhar Kapoor. Mr. Kapoor, can we please have you here on stage? Well, there's the man right there.
Waves arise from distant shores, bringing voices.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be here, and it's even a rare honor to share the stage with none other than Mr. Shekhar Kapoor. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, sir. And I think to start with, we must congratulate you on winning the Padma Bhushan, the third highest honor of the country. A big round of applause for it. Now, it's got it there. Well, we would straight away jump into the topic. You know, we've seen since maybe 4000 BC, when wheels were invented, then you had telephone, printing press, and then the internet, steam engine in the 18th century, 1876 telephone. There were inventions which changed the course of the way we live. But never before we had started getting worried about the adverse effects of these inventions. And now the new AI, which is going to be an inevitable way of living with AI, but I think we have started getting equally worried about the adverse effect of AI, as much as the goods that it's going to do to our life and our world. So why do you think that AI could turn out to be a Frankenstein? Could Frankenstein, a demon?
Well, Frankenstein wasn't really a monster. We made him a monster.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. How do we perceive anything? We perceive AI as a big threat. Who perceives AI as a big threat? Let me tell you a story. Well, first, AI has never been a more democratic technology than AI. It's almost as powerful as the invention of the wheel. But now imagine if when they invented wheel, people said, now everything was rounded all over and fall down on us. That's how we look at it. We're limited in our thought. But let me tell you a story. There was this CEO that was making his next $1 billion pitch. He goes to his office early in the morning. He wants to get ready for it. The only person there is the cleaning lady. The cleaning lady says to him, sir, there's like these papers I found in the waste paper basket. Are they important or shall I throw them away? He looks at them, it's his pitch. Now he said, how did my cleaning lady get my pitch? Should I fire my secretary? What am I going to do? But anyway, he said, no. He goes off. As he's going to the office, the cleaning lady says, sir, can I say something? He says, yeah, what is it? What's the problem? He says, sir, you're wrong. That pitch is wrong. And he says, gets irritated. He goes into his office, bangs his door, but doubt sets in. And he starts to look at his pitch, and he sees that from under his door, the cleaning lady is pushing bits of paper and says, knocks, sir, I've done a pitch also.
Right.
And he, I'm not finished, and he looks at her pitch, and it's better. Why was the cleaning lady's pitch better than the CEO's? What did he do? Should he fire the cleaning lady? Should he fire himself? Should he make her the CEO? No. The cleaning lady learned a new language called prompting. And he was still in the old language of flowcharts, MBAs, Harvard, Wharton, everything. All that is gone. All that is gone. That's why I say it's a very democratic technology. There's a new language called prompting, which takes the old world away, and we are entering into a... AI is an existential change. It's not just a little thing that is happening. And you cannot isolate it. What's going to happen to film? What's going to happen to jobs? Whose jobs? People say, oh, it's going to happen to the jobs. I say to the CEOs, it's your jobs.
Right. Now, thing is that,
But why was you tell me, why was the cleaning lady better than him?
why was he?
Cleaning lady, why did she know more than he did?
No, because she leveraged the technology that she had. And she didn't have learned this. But the thing is that I would
She
also...
wasn't chained by the past.
Right. But cleaning lady possibly would not be able to execute those plans which she has submitted. That will be the CEO's job to do it. But
What did you say?
the plans or the strategies, putting them into practice, possibly that's the cleaning lady would not be able to do. I would really
That's the wrong assumption. You're under threat. Your job is
Possibly.
under threat. Yes. Yeah.
Now, what I was coming to the fact that originality versus adaptation. Is there a thread there in our field, in the field of media and entertainment? Would originality be one of the victims of AI? You can take the example of Nilesh, your cook, who has produced your the Masum 2 script. Now that seems to be quite up there, what one can develop from there.
Well, here's the story of Nilesh, if you really want to know. Everybody says make Mr. India 2. I said, no, I'm not going to make Mr. India 2, but I'll help you to develop Mr. India 2. All the big writers came. All of them wrote plots, 3-page, 4-page plots. I sit in my dining table, my cook comes up, sir, I've also written a story for Mr. India 2. Now I have a choice. I either read it or I don't get good food. So I said, okay, I'll read it. And I read it. It was the best. My cook wrote the best new plot for Mr. India 2, and I said, where did you get this from? He said, sir, you sit on ChatGPT, and ChatGPT gave me the plot. So now, your question is, are we losing originality, or is my cook, who's never written anything in his life, gaining something? He'll never go back. I'm very afraid that I'm going to lose him as a cook, because he's found ChatGPT. He's found a way. The thing that's happening with AI is that if we draw a pyramid, it's the bottom of the pyramid that is going to benefit from this very democratic technology, because all technologies that get adapted from those that really want change, they need change.
So that's the topic we're going to come to, democratization of script writing and content creation. I would like to spend some more time on this adaptation versus originality. Now we learned that Plato had said that art, any form of art, especially painting or music, what he advocated that it is a copy of what reality is. is that the reality is such and such. We perceive that in our mind, that's our perception, and then we convert that into art, right? So art is actually a copy of what's happening in the real life. Now, I understand that if you feed enough data to AI, he would be able to copy life to a large extent. But the script that Nilesh wrote, you also found some shortcomings in the script. So I would like you to share with the audience that what are the shortcomings of the script?
Let's not get overwhelmed by human originality. I'll tell you where it comes from, but first let's understand. Let's take people, how many of you make series? How many of you actually watch television and watch series? Which of you don't? Okay, there will be no hands. I had a meeting with one of the very big channels the other day, and I realized that they decide, their computers decide what they want to put on next. Right? There's 7 of them sitting there. 7 of them are sitting with notebooks and saying, yeah, this, and put in the computer. The computer is, their computer is also looking at data that has already happened to put it in next. And I said, you know what? You guys should lose your jobs. There's 7 of you that are doing nothing. What you do in 1 month, AI can do in 5 minutes. It can predict everything. What do we do when we watch series? We love the characters. We like the characters to move in a certain way. We understand how the plot moves. Yeah, I can pick all that right up, right like that. It'll give you the next 10 episodes in 5 minutes. So they are a job. That's what the Hollywood strike was about. Yes, of course, we have to understand that AI scrapes things. It scrapes from here, it scrapes from there, it scrapes from there. So, but we as human beings, we have to worry about our own sense of inertia. It's our own inertia that will lead us to be dependent on AI. Otherwise, to me, for example, right now at this moment, ChatGPT and all the other places, they're great provokers. I talk to them, they talk back to me, I talk to them, they talk back to me. But if I follow them completely, then it's my own inertia that's following them, right? Okay, so yes, of course it's great, but what is not AI?
That's right. What is it that you didn't find in Nilesh's script?
AI cannot fall in love.
No, just 1 minute. That's something which I would like to spend some time on. Why do you think AI can't fall in love?
AI can talk about love, AI can pick the greatest love stories of all time, it can analyze all
But
love
why is
stories.
that?
Because AI cannot be afraid. We have not fed our data. We cannot teach a computer to be afraid. Because computer cannot, it can analyze fear, it cannot be afraid. See, as a kid, most of you, remember when we used to want to jump over a ditch? If there is a ditch in front of us as a child, what do you want to do? You want to jump over it. Why do you want to jump over it? Because you could fall into it. If you knew you were not going to fall into that ditch, you would not want to jump over it. If you knew that if you could climb a mountain without falling off, you'd be perfectly safe, you would not climb the mountain. So, there is an element of fear in all of us that makes us want to jump over a ditch. Now, AI, if there is a ditch, will calculate whether it can jump over and survive or it cannot jump over and survive. If it can jump over and survive, it will jump. If it cannot jump over and survive, it won't jump. We as human beings, our sense of innovation, our sense of enterprise, our sense of mystery of life, our sense of love, our sense of faith, everything that we do that is completely heart-based, not mind-based. AI is not heart-based. Everything that we do emotionally and heart-based, AI cannot do because that's not the data we feed into it.
Look, I would just like to spend
Am I
some
right?
time.
Is he just arguing with me, nothing, right?
I am quite there. No, I'm quite there. I just want to say that as we learned from Plato, that art imitates imitations of life, down the line Oscar Wilde also had said that the life learns more from art than art learns from life. So if that be true, I don't know what would stop AI to learn falling in love. Finally, it is the experience that it's gathering. Like for instance, on that context, I would also like to tell you that I often had asked my actor friends, how do I know when you're emoting, whether you're acting or that's real? You're such a good actor, whether you're really angry or you're showing that you're angry. How do I know that in normal life? So therefore, I don't know. That happens with human being also. So human being might be expressing love, but because of the career, their work, they are trained to express love also. So why can't you train AI?
What was your first question? Then I'll come to the
That's
actor.
a question. Why can't AI fall in love? Why can't you give the data
Okay,
to
let's
AI
just
that it
stay
will
with
fall in
me.
love?
Stay with me for a moment. Let's accept that life exists because it's a mystery, right? If it wasn't mysterious, if life was not mysterious, most of us would have just killed ourselves. If life was exactly, if tomorrow was exactly told you this is what tomorrow is going to be, tomorrow has no validity if it's not a mystery, right? We wake up in the morning and say, oh my God, what's going to happen today? Oh, I know exactly what it is. This is going to happen, and this is going to happen, this is going to... Most of us won't exist. Because life, the idea of life only exists because there is a mysterious idea there. There's some kind of mystery, unknown, uncertainty. Although even us, all of us fight against uncertainty. You go down right now, you'll go to all the startups, they're going to convince you that there's no uncertainty, so you should invest in us. But the only reason they exist is because there's uncertainty. That's the big contradiction in the way we behave, right? So AI cannot be uncertain because it is data-driven. We are not, as human beings, we are not data-driven. We are mystery-driven, mysterious. So there's no data, there's no plus, minus, dot, dot, this can actually become mysterious. And if we are not, that's what drives us. Elon Musk, who's the greatest guy who says, we're going to put a chip into my mind, why does he want to go to Mars? Because he knows he can go to Mars? No. He wants to go to Mars because he's going to be the only person who could possibly get to Mars and nobody else can go to Mars, and he might fail. The potential of failure is what drives most of us. And that's why I talk about the word inertia. Those that actually strive give in to the idea of fear and failure and try and overcome it. Then we'll always be ahead of AI. If we give up and become inertia, take AI will do whatever I need, it'll do it for me, then the human race is doomed. It depends on whether the human race has inertia or it can deal with its own inertia. My guess is it will deal with its own inertia because ultimately we're afraid of our own existence.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, it's something like that you can't feed that kind of a data in an AI that it comes up with the lyrics like Lakdi ki kati, kati pe ghoda, ghode pe dhum, mara hatora.
Why would I ever fall in love if my heart can't break? Is there anybody here who would fall in love knowing that my heart will never be broken? Because there's no mystery to falling in love if your heart cannot be broken. Yes?
And Masumiyat,
Sorry?
Masumiyat, can you teach the AI Masumiyat?
Masumiyat.
Yep. You can't.
No.
Like the way you can't teach love.
You cannot teach. One day, you know how once we developed all science, my grandmother, okay, let me tell you about my grandmother. My grandmother, every time I went to give an exam, she would give me a teaspoon of dahi, curd with sugar. I said, my grandmother, what she's doing, as if I'll pass my maths exam by eating curd. Now, science is telling me that she was feeding my gut brain. She was right. There's a new aspect of science that is just coming up which says that the heart sends more messages to the mind, to the brain, than the brain does the mind, which means it's not like when you're falling in love and therefore the mind sends a message and your heart beats faster. No, the heart beats faster and that's how the mind knows you're in love. There's a difference. And as we develop that science, it's science, between the mind and the heart, we'll realize that AI belongs here. Because AI also, the mind is the one that says there's a past, present, or future. The heart doesn't. The heart only deals with what is. This moment, that's it. And it's gone. Now it's gone. Right?
So,
the AI cannot do that.
Right. So why do you think then there's that Hollywood writers, script writers, etc., they went on strike. So what were they trying to showcase?
No, no, they went on strike because they realized that what was being asked of them, actually AI can do. It's what's being asked of them. They're asked to write the next 10 episodes of a series that have been going on for 10 years, right? What's being asked of them is make it a little different, but stay with the same character, shift the character slightly, bring in something here, bring in something there. AI can do that like this, you know? So the script writers, the writers went on strike not because they're saying AI will take away all originality from us. What they're really saying to Hollywood is, you are not original. You are not asking us for originality, because if they were asking for really asking for the unexpected, AI won't do that, cannot do that.
So
Inertia, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
inertia. So they need, in our behavior, in the corporate behavior, how many of you work with corporations? And how many of you accept that you find a lot of inertia in the way corporates go? Yeah, completely. The moment you form a corporation, please tell that to all the startups, you are creating inertia, your biggest fight. And AI has it takes inertia out of the system. So it goes like this.
So basically, if you're not good enough, then AI might replace you.
Sorry?
If you're not good enough, AI might replace your work.
Or if you're sensible enough, you let AI do you. What is
right?
If you're not good enough, let AI do it. You know, people have asked me, describe AI. Describe an organization. You run a huge organization. Describe, and I'm saying the pyramid is going to be destroyed. What I'm saying is that AI is taking inertia out. It's stamping on the pyramid. The pyramid is now flat. Who runs it? Who's the CEO? Who's the cleaning lady? Who is in? How are these organizations going to run? See, I'm getting away from film because the reason I'm getting away from film is because storytelling changes as the world changes. Yeah. We tell stories as the world is, right? If the world is going through an existential change, then there has to be an existential change in the way we tell stories. So, you know what's called the murmurings of the sparrows? You've seen those hundreds of birds, sparrows flying in, and suddenly hundreds and thousands of them will suddenly shift, like as if they were one, but they're not one. There are hundreds, there are thousands of sparrows. How does that work? Who decided? And they shift in complete unison almost immediately. No inertia. How does that work? We have to understand that idea of an organization. How do they do it? Nobody leads. Nobody follows. It's like somebody...
But they say that agentive AI can even enable that down the line, Shekhar Kapoor and Barun did not be here to have this conversation. They will have the agentive AI of ours and the conversation will carry on.
Barun, as long as you're afraid, you're fine. As long as you fear, you're fine. As long as you can fall in love and say, oh God, I'm in love now, what do I do? What do I do? This whole expression of what the hell do I do is a mystery. As long as you're there, you're human and you're fine. You'll beat AI. If inertia, oh God, it's okay. Whatever happens, it's okay. Then you lose to AI.
Anyway, I'm trying to accelerate my retirement with or without AI. So that, now, you also have spoken about democratization of technology and your Dharavi project, QK. Would you like to share some bit of Dharavi project with us?
Well, we've been talking about it. I'm saying that AI is the most democratic technology we'll ever had. A.R. Rahman, you see here, he said he would be here. You see, he's cheated me and run away. I never run away from his sessions. He runs away. But we've been running a music school in Dharavi. Universal joined us, where we teach kids in Dharavi rap and hip-hop, and some of them become very big. we are now starting a film school for the slum kids of Dharavi who are 11 and 12 to teach them filmmaking through artificial intelligence.
Very nice. Excellent. Excellent. Finally, Shekhar.
Because they can learn, we can teach them prompting, right? And then they can make their own films. They don't need to go to a film school or a camera. They'll create films out of prompting.
Finally, Shekhar, this is another very, my personal question when I observe the way things are happening. You know, this year in Oscars, Adrian Brody, he got the Best Actor prize, despite the fact that he's used AI to get his Hungarian accent. So Oscar has made it very clear that you can leverage AI, as you were saying. But will such a scenario come? You see, most of the actors of today, they possibly do not know what their AI version, their AI rights can do. When you're talking about an original movie, that's fine. But let's say if you're making a movie, most of the movies made out of mythical stories in India, you see most of them do very well. So an actor X, his movie is going to be released on that Friday. If I know the usage of AI effectively, I get to know about the movie released today, and the movie is to be released next Friday. I can create an AI version of the same movie because nobody has rights to the story. It's a mythical character, and release it on the same day when the blockbuster is supposed to be released. What happens in that scenario?
It's a deeper question, but let me answer it one by one. Almost every actor I know is copywriting themselves. So Tom Cruise, you cannot suddenly use Tom Cruise in an AI movie because Tom Cruise has copyrighted himself. Anil Kapoor has copyrighted himself. Every actor of anything has copyrighted themselves. Can I copyright Mr. India? Everybody's seen, I assume.
Yeah.
Can I copyright Amrish Puri? No, I can't. I'm not Amrish Puri. I don't even own his estate. Anything. Can I copyright Mogambo? Exactly as it is, I can. Right? If I own that.
No, but I'm talking about deep fake. I'm not talking about the legitimate copywriting. It can just destroy the industry.
Yeah, deep fake is the problem. Nobody's saying it's not. Of course, deep fake is a problem. But should we boot AI out because it can create deep fake?
No, you should never take AI out.
No, there's huge. I agree. I mean, there's that. We just, actors need to protect themselves against that. But my guess is that we'll soon not need stars. Actors are going to be, stars are going to be out of a job because the AI will create its own stars. If I create a character on AI, let's face it, Walt Disney did that years ago with animation. Years. 100 years ago, Walt Disney did it with animation. He created stars, right? And they still survive. AI will create more human-like stars. And I can create a star on AI, it'll be my copyright. And very soon there'll be a whole slew of an idea of AI movies that will have a girl or a boy or a man or a woman that I've created through AI that will be my copyright. In fact, now it's happening more and more. A lot of the influences that you see are not human. The AI created. So why can't we have films with actors, characters who have become stars because we've created them on AI? So actors will find that there's big competition now from AI creators. So I don't need Amitabh Bachchan. I'll create my own character. I don't need Shah Rukh. I create my own character. And if I'm good enough, I'll create a character that the audiences will love. And then I have my own character. So AI is a completely different idea. I'm not saying that AI will overcome, you'll see theatrical, but TikTok, you don't see in theater, you don't see it. Everything, every new technology creates its own way of audiences looking at it. It creates its own view. It creates its own culture of viewing. AI will create its own culture of viewing. It may not be theatrical, but how many? Theatrical is only 2% of the world's consumption of media today. 2%. That's all it is.
Right. Shekhar, it was fantastic talking to you.
That's it? You're okay with AI now?
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I am.
Thank you. Thank you.
The subject of AI is just warming up. So far, whatever we have spoken, there's something that we haven't yet been able to create through AI is extension of our life or time. So the time is always limited. So I've been told that we've run out of our time.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to say one more thing while you say, before you say thank you.
One second.
There are mathematicians here. There are scientists and physicists here.
Sorry?
Very simple question, right? When you plot change, you have an x-axis and y-axis, and you're plotting change. Imagine it now, that your x-axis and y-axis is constant.
Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kapoor. Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much,
Sure.
sir.
That's it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kapoor. That was a riveting conversation.
A big round.
You know, next up on stage, Barun, I'm going to request